Hello everyone. In this today's time series analysis related tutorial, we are going to see how to analyze this Google trend of the keyword vacation, which has been searched on Google, how many number of times it has been searched, and we are trying to do the time series analysis of that Google trend of the word keyword vacation, how many number of times that has been done. So in this tutorial we are going to see actually how to analyze this data sets for finding out what kind of trends is observed, Google trend is observed with respect to the keyword vacation. So for that we need to import the important Python based libraries like pandas, which is very important data analysis tool, and then the NumPy, which is used for numerical calculations, processing, etc. And then Matplotlib is used widely in Python for visualization purpose. Then after that, for this we need a CSV file, comma separated value file, that is vacation.csv, which is already stored in C drive. C drive uses Dell. So here if you search for the word vacation, so you can see this is the data set which is there. So here it shows that in which particular month how many number of times this keyword vacation has been searched. So this is a comma separated value file we have already stored in our C drive users folder. Okay, so now after this, once we have done, we have plotted data frame dot head, means first 5 values you can see here, that is the month. For the month, in this particular month, like 2004, how many number of times this vacation word has been searched, it shows. Then once we plot this data frame dot info part of this particular data frame, it shows that there are total two columns, and there are 190 entries. So from 0 to 189. Month is nothing but the object, which is nothing but the data type which is of object, and number of times it is int 64. Now we will be checking here. Now first of all, this month should not be object. Actually we don't want object. See, because students, in time series analysis, whatever we are analyzing is with respect to the time periods, right? So that is time is nothing but the main crucial parameter with respect to what we are trying to analyze our data set, right? So that's why this time should not be anything like object. By default in Python, this whatever string data type it is assigned as object. So we don't want that object to be over here. So what we will do is we will try to convert this month to date and time. Okay, then we will check here df data frame dot is na dot sum, means any missing values are there. So we are checking here if it is are there any kind of missing values. So here there are no as such missing values, like in month also it is 0, and number of times also it is 0. So there are no missing values. Then after that we will be fixing here column names. So what are the column names that we are using over here? Month and number, search, vacation. So these we are fixing the column names over here. So these are and we are then assigning these column names to data frame dot columns, and then we will be printing here whatever tail in the sense the last 5 data values or records. Then after that, what we want is from date time we will be importing date time. As we have discussed over here that in time series analysis, whatever we are plotting it with respect to, there is a certain period or sequence or interval of the time that we are plotting against x-axis, and on the y-axis the values we are trying to analyze, okay, in time series analysis. So what we want is whatever just now we have seen that df.info, this is nothing but the object. Month is of the data type object, so we don't want that to be object, or month can be here string. So here we don't want that to be object. So what we will do, we will convert we will be converting, or we will be setting it to date time. So df data frame month is set to date time over here, and then we are setting over here index index is nothing but a month, and in place is equal to true, means whatever changes you are going to do to that particular data set, that will be remaining in place, in that place only. So it is whatever we are going to do any kind of modifications to the data set which is done, that will be placed in the same place. Okay, so that is df dot set index month in place is equal to true, and those changes are going to be permanent. So here df dot head 3 data frame dot head 3, so first 3 heading values we have shown over here, and this is nothing but a data frame describe. We want to describe our data set, right? So this is describing the data set, means what are the total number of records. So total number of records, just now we have seen in our Excel file, this .csv file, there were total 190 records starting from 0 to 189. Mean, we are calculating the mean of it. Then standard deviation, mean, minimum value, 25% of it, 50% means middle value, 75% of this value, and then the maximum value. Then we are calculating here median. Median means the sense middle value. Okay, middle value of this particular data set, that is 56. Okay, and the data type is float 64. Then we can use different types of plotting style. Here we have used Seaborn deep style of plotting, where there are different styles which are available in Python. Then we will be plotting it. That X label should be year, and Y label should be number of searches, how many number of times it has been searched on Google, and this is nothing but the Google trend of the word vacation. So you can see how it is fluctuating, how the time series is varying. So how the time series is varying, you can see here 2005 to 2007. If you say this is 2006 in the middle, so starting like 2004 December, it has surged up, right? Then it is this trend is coming down from January to February, March, okay, April, May, okay, like again it starts increasing, June, July, August, September, October, okay, October it has increased, December, so then it comes down. Okay, so that is 2006 December, again it has started increasing. Likewise we can analyze this data set, so how it is varying. So this kind of time series analysis trend is called, it is not a seasonal also, it is not a seasonal, it's a continuous, like it is cyclical. Okay, it is what you can say, cyclical, it's a continuous trend you can observe. And in 2000, from 2015 to 2019, you can see it remains, and at the somehow it stays at the same fluctuations, not so many fluctuations which are there. So you can see at this beginning of the year it goes up, then comes down likewise. So it's a continuous trend you can see. Okay, continuous trend you can see. It's okay, it's a kind of a seasonal, in the sense in the month of October it goes up, December it comes down, December it quite goes up, and then again at the end of the December it comes down. Okay, likewise. So you can analyze this Google trend of the word vacation over here. Then what is now here you can see, the since we have converted this month to the date time. Okay, to date time. So you can see this is the time, with respect to time, number of searches which has been done. Then after that, length of the data frame, it is 190. Data frame dot head, so you can see that this is month and how many number of times this vacation has been searched. Then we are finding out the mean of it. Okay, mean is what? Simply the average of sum of all the values. Then we are calculating the standard deviation of it with the help of the function np.std. Okay, np.std. np.mean is used for calculation of mean. np.std standard deviation. So what is standard deviation? Actually we are calculating standard deviation is nothing but a square root of the variance, right? Now what is variance? It is nothing but the average of the squared values, okay, of differences from the mean, right? Average of the squared values of the differences from the mean values, right? So and then we are calculating the square root of it. Now you will ask me why we are taking the square of it in variance, since because we may get sometimes negative values also, and when we are taking the summation of those negative values, then our error terms can be nullified. So we don't want that to happen, so we are considering the absolute values. For that, what we are doing is we are taking the squared sum of the difference from the mean. Okay, so squared sum of the difference from the mean is nothing but our variance, and the standard deviation is nothing but a square root of the variance. So here standard deviation is this. Then the maximum value is calculated, np dot max, that is max. Np dot min is nothing but a minimum value, and then we are trying to do some kind of shifting or autocorrelation function we are trying to map over here. So autocorrelation means whatever number of search vacation what we have done, we will be shifting that value by one. What do you mean by that? See, in time series analysis, whatever next values are there, those are dependent on the previous set of values. Okay, previous set of values, like t value will be dependent on t minus 1, t minus 2, t minus 3, t minus 4. So we want to shift those values, and the next value will be nothing but your actual values, or and the previous like can be predicted, or based on the previous values, previous set of the values which are the actual values, we can predict the future values. So here what we have done, data frame underscore name is nothing but number of search vacation t minus 1 means previous value, and for the one time stamp. Okay, so here what we are doing is we have calculated this sklearn, we are importing the matrix, and from mathematical library we are importing the square root, and then we are calculating the mean squared error, okay, between the true value and the prediction value. So what do you mean by this? The true value is nothing but a num search vacation, the actual value, and num search vacation t minus 1 means previous value is here we have considered as prediction, and whatever the difference between these two, true and prediction values, whatever difference between these two values we have calculated, we are calculating the mean squared error of it, and for that there is a sqrt function which we have used. So root mean square error for this new method is this. Then we are splitting this data set. How we are splitting this data set? It is 0.2 by length of data frame. So what is the length of data frame? That is 190 into 0.2. Okay, and that is subtracted from length of data frame. So we are splitting this data set into train, test, split, means we are splitting it in terms of 80-20. Okay, and once we have done this, what we are trying to plot it is from stats models graphics.tsa plots, time series analysis plots, import plot underscore ACF. ACF is nothing but auto correlation function. Now what is auto correlation function? We are trying to relate the values, future values, based on the previous sequences of whatever values we have obtained. Okay, so that auto correlation or that pattern we want to uncover, we want to identify that pattern, and for that we are using this auto correlation function. So plot auto correlation function and train, and lags with respect to how much? 20. What do you mean by lags is equal to 20? Means in steps of 20. Whatever time period we are considering, no, that period is of 20 lags. Period of 20 lags. So we are going to plot this values. Train comma lags is equal to 20. So whatever training data set is there, that we have plotted here for auto correlation function. Okay students, so that's it for this time series analysis. We will stop here. Thanks.